Hello again, class, and here I am. I'd like to go over today about some language diagramming and finding verbs and subjects. First, we'll find them. Some of us are still not quite getting their verbs and subjects or subject predicates and correctly. So we always find what first? That's right, the verb. Always find the verb first. Our tendency is to find our subject first, but don't. The subject tends to come first, so we want to find it first, but don't. Because in order to find the subject, we must find the verb first and then ask what? Who said it? Did you say who or what did that thing? See, we have to find the thing they did first, right? Or the state of being verb that's on our list. So verbs either show action or they show state of being. They're on our list. So they're either showing action, something you can do, or they're on the list that we've memorized. At, miss, or was, were, be, been, have, has, had, do, does, did. And you have all those memorized, don't you? So it's on our list that we've memorized and we can spot it out, or it's something we can do. So what is something we can do? Let's look at this first sentence. Storks and herons fly the same way. Storks and herons fly the same way. What is the action word in this sentence? Did you say fly? I'm going to underline that twice as our verb. Then ask who or what fly. Oh, could we say storks fly? Yes, but keep watching. Sometimes there's more than one. So always look at every word. There's another thing that's flying, right? Herons fly. Storks fly. Herons fly. There's two. Is there any other verb? That's the only verb, right? How would we diagram this sentence, right? Well, first we have to look. Is there anything compound? Yes. So we want to keep that in mind when we draw our diagram. Can you still see that? Okay, can we still see that? And I'm going to shorten my line here a little bit. Okay. I'm going to need a verb, vertical line. The verb is what? Fly, right? Fly. That's what's happening. Notice the verb is always on the right side, and then look. Here is our rocket ship that we're going to draw right here. Okay? Who or what fly? Who or what fly? Storks fly, and that goes on the top one. Just like that. I'll get out of the way in a minute. And then herons fly, right? You probably recognize this. Storks fly, herons fly. Dot, dot, dot. Don't forget those three dots. Or not really dot, kind of like hyphen dashes that are going this way, vertical instead of horizontal. But there's three of them on the diagram. And there we have it. A compound subject with a verb. Okay, and that's the first one. The next one says, the birds' necks and feet are extended. What's an action word or a verb or something on our list? Always find the verb first. Extended. Is that something you could do? Extend means to stretch out. Yes, so imagine those storks. They're extending their neck out, as they fly or whatever. So let's underline it twice. Extended. Now think, is there another word helping it? Always think of that. See, in this first one, there wasn't another one, helper. There wasn't a helping verb anywhere, but is there a helper here? Is there a word on our list? Yes, there is. What is it? That's right. are is on our line. And is are, right? Are was, right? Are is on our list. Therefore, we include it. Are extended. And it's helping the main verb. See? Who or what are extended. Who or what are extended. This is where some of us made an error. The feet are extended. The necks are the birds extended. It's not the birds that are extended, it's the birds' necks that are extended. And some of you pointed out to me that, oh, see these words coming in front of the noun necks? These are adjectives, they're not nouns that we're going to get to later. Okay, but don't worry about the adjectives for now, but they are not what's extended. It's the neck that's extended. So that's coming in front of the noun. So always go to, you see the main noun. That's the subject of what's extended. So necks extended, feet extended. There we have two again, don't we? Okay, keep that in mind. And by the way, as we diagram it, remember, verbs are on this side of the diagram. Nouns are always on that side. Just like in the sentence, most of the time the noun's on that side, and we could draw a vertical line, subject part of the sentence, predicate part of the sentence. So it's when we diagram it, it's still that way. It's on that side. Some of us are putting the verb on this side, and we're putting the subject on that side, and that's opposite. So let's get that straight. Let's correct it in our mind if we are, perchance, getting it not the right way, okay? So we'll do it the same way. Now, keep in mind, when there are helping verbs like that, that's not two verbs. That doesn't make it compound because they're together, the verb. Okay? It's not a separate thing that's happening, right? This one, well, that was compound subject. This one's going to be this one is verb, but maybe we'll get to one, okay? So we had a compound subject one, but let's do this one. So the verb is what? Are extended. It's on this side of the diagram. Are extended. Now I hope I don't go beyond the screen. But that's the word extended, okay? Is it still on there? Okay, extended, are extended. Who or what are extended? Neck and feet. So we have a compound subject again, right? Don't we? Yes, we do, because we have neck, feet. Draw those 3 dashes down the middle there. Are extended. This is on the same line. The helping verb and the main verb are on the same line. It's not like the rocket ship that we talk about. It's not compound. It's all together, the verb helping each other. The extended needs the are there with it. So it's on the same line. So don't mess up on that, as some of us maybe were doing that. So if you were, correct that in your head and you'll get it right the next time, okay? Now, here's a third one. Stork, soar, and ride on warm air currents. And I'm going to put a period. It may have gotten marked up there. There should be a period there. Okay. Stork, soar, and ride on warm air currents. How are we going to do this one? What is the verb? What is the verb? Can you soar? You know, like they're in the air, they're soaring, right? Ride. They're two separate things, aren't they? But they are things you can do. So they soar, they ride. Underline it 2 times. That's the action verb. There's 2. Keep that in mind. There's 2. Are there many others? Then what question are you going to ask? Now, Could you answer what question? Make sure you're asking that question in your head. Who soar? What soar? What ride? Who rides? Ask those questions. And the answer to that is stork. Okay, I'll do my vertical line. Storks soar, right, and that's helpful. When you draw that vertical line, it's helping you to diagram it. Even before you draw your diagram, you already have most of the work done. Because if you're underlining, you know the two underlining, when you underline it twice, is for the verb, and the one time is for the subject. All right? Now, because of our space, I'm going to just go ahead and erase this one. You could always rewind or back up the video if you need to still see that. But let's diagram this one. What kind of verb is it? Is it one verb or is it compound? There's two separate verbs, right? So it is compound. So I'm going to do a compound rocket ship, right? We do a rocket ship when it's compound, just like that. And then how many subjects do we have? One, don't we? So we just draw a line there. Here's our vertical line. Make sure that line is straight, not slanted, and make sure it goes all the way through. Whenever we're diagramming, the vertical line goes all the way through. There were a couple that didn't make their line go all the way through. So don't just have it sit on top. It must cross through the line, okay? Well, let's diagram the verb first. Always the verb first, all right? Soar, ride. So on the top one, whichever one comes first goes on top. Soar. And then the other one is ride. Soar, ride. Who or what soar or ride? Storks. So I draw or write the word stork. And there it is. Storks soar, ride. Storks is the subject. Notice it's capitalized. If it's capitalized in the sentence, it's capitalized on the diagram, regardless of where it is on the diagram. Soar, ride. Okay, good, good. Now there's another one that we want to look at, number 4. That one's very interesting. Let's look at it. Look at the picture of the stork's nest. Look at the picture of the stork's nest. And I probably should put an apostrophe like that. And we'll learn that rule later, but that probably needs an apostrophe there as I look at it. Look at the picture of the stork's nest. What is the verb in that sentence? Remember, an action word or something on your list. That's right. Did you say look? It is. Look is the verb. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to underline the word look twice as a verb. Don't miss it, even though it's the first word of the sentence. It is the action word, okay? Look, then ask yourself, okay, look, what question are you going to ask? That's right. Who or what look? Who or what look? Is a stork looking? No. Is a picture looking? These are nouns. Is the nest looking? No. Who are we telling to look? What kind of sentence is this? Look at the picture of the stork's nest. What kind of sentence is it? Declarative, interrogative? That's right. It's imperative, isn't it? Now, whenever you have an imperative sentence, that means the subject is. That's right, you. In our sentence, they're telling us, whoever the speaker is telling us to look. So the subject is you. Now, when you mark your sentence, this is where many of us did not do this. And so you've had a point taken off or a few points taken off for this. So listen and watch carefully. You should do this. In front of this sentence, right out in front of it, right here, put parentheses, okay? And put a capital U and write the word you. And underline the word you right out in front of the sentence, just like that. And that's how I mark the subject. I actually have to write the word in there to the left of the sentence in parentheses. The parentheses mean this word doesn't actually occur in the sentence, but it's understood to be. And we need to write it. And so that's what you'll do. Then when you diagram it, when you diagram the sentence, you'll need to do that too. So I'm just going to draw a diagram down here for sentence number 4. I'm going to draw my vertical line. You see that it just barely shows up there like that. So I'm going to adjust here, make you see it a little bit better. There we have it. Here's our horizontal line and our vertical line. Start with the verb. Yes, the verb is look, isn't it? Look goes on this side of our diagram. Look, the verb goes on this side of our diagram always. Who or what look? You look. So write the word you. Put parentheses around it on our diagram. And that is how you diagram verb, subject. Verb, subject, just like that. And that leaves us one more sentence. Number 5. Can you find a Bible verse about storks? Can you find a Bible verse about storks? What is the verb in this sentence? Always find the verb first. Remember, it's an action word or it shows state of being, and it's on our list. So what is it? Oh, who said find? Is find something you can do? Yeah. Now always think, is there any kind of helping verb or any compound verb or any other verb anywhere? Always kind of look around, find, finds. Any other? I don't see anything. I see something. Do you see a word on our list? Yes. Can. Now, if any parents are watching, so children, students, parents, whoever you are watching this, if you're watching this, keep this in mind. I have told the students that if there's a question mark, look for inverted sentence structure. Look for an inverted sentence where normally you have subject, verb, usually in most sentences, but it will be out of order and some things will be mixed up. And there's probably going to be a helping verb. If you see a question, that's a clue. That's a good trick to learn. If you see a question mark, look for an inverted sentence order. And look for a helping verb because there's almost always a helping verb. Not always, but often. Are you here? There's going to be something that starts that sentence. Not always. Sometimes, how much does it cost you? But there will be, you'll have to be able to be watching. So really be watching with a question mark, with an interrogative sentence. Be watching and look, you'll see. Here's can, but it's split up because there's the word you here and then there's the word find. So they're not right next to each other as in this sentence up here, are extended. They're right next to each other. They are split up. So be looking for that helper. Can, find, and make it a statement. How, instead of saying, can you find a Bible verse about storks, say, yes, you can find a Bible verse about storks. See, now, then we can find it easier, can't we? Can find. Who or what can find? You can find, right? And make a statement. You can find a Bible verse about storks. And there we have it. We have our verb, can find, and we have the subject, you. Hopefully you could do that. And then how would we diagram it? I'm going to erase this one. We're going to have a diagram here. So we're going to, is there anything compound? No. Helpers don't make it compound, remember, right? So there's no compound. So we're just going to draw a line, horizontal first. We're going to draw our vertical line there. And then we're going to say, what is the verb? What is the verb? Always start with a verb. Yes. Can find. Spin my line a little bit. Can find. Who or what can find? And then, of course, the word you. Now, in this sentence, can is capitalized because it's the first word. So on our diagram, can is capitalized still. And then you is not capitalized, even though when we make it a statement, you can find, you know, it sounds like that's the first word now, but it's not. Look at the original sentence. Whatever the original sentence was, that's what we capitalize. All right. And there you have it. We have diagramming. These 5 sentences are 5 examples of the different kinds of things you'll have. For example, the first sentence had a compound subject with just one verb. The second sentence had a compound subject with a verb that has a helper. The third sentence had a compound verb, right, with just a single subject. The fourth sentence was an example of understood you and how to find that in diagramming. And the last sentence was an interrogative sentence where we have an inverted order and we have to find the helper that's not right with it. So these 5 sentences were carefully chosen to illustrate the 5 kinds so far that we've had of finding subjects and verbs, or what I like to say now is verbs and subjects, predicate, subject. Okay. And so hopefully this helped. If this was a help to you, give a thumbs up, like it, and subscribe if you like. And if you like more videos, tell me what kind of videos. I don't think the comments are on for this video, but you can always send a message to me, and I can include some information there for you. All right, you take care, and remember, learn something new every day. You take care. Bye.